For my second dish, I'll be making Korean harissa salad two ways. I'll be making a Moroccan and Tunisian carrot salad. One will be a warm salad of carrots. The other will be a cold salad of ribbons of carrots mixed with a harissa vinaigrette. For the next dish, I'm going to make Moroccan carrot salad two ways. We're going to have a cold salad and a warm salad. We have two techniques that I'm going to teach you. First, we're going to make harissa. Harissa is a Tunisian or Moroccan chili paste. Whereas Koreans use gochujang, it's fermented. Moroccans and Tunisians and many people all around the Arabic Mediterranean, they use harissa. It's going to be a mixture of, today we're going to use gochugaru. If you can find dried Korean peppers, it'll be a little bit easier, a little bit better. Today we have gochugaru, so that's what we're going to use. So I've mixed it with water already. So we're going to chop up our garlic. The way that my chef taught me when I was first learning is to take the blunt side of your knife here, the broad side, put it on, press, down. You already get it smashed. You get some of the juices out. I think you get a better garlic flavor. It's already broken. Just chop up your garlic. We're gonna do that with the rest of the four cloves. Pour it into our bowl. Put up. Oh, this one we have quite a bit. So we're going to take about a teaspoon of cumin. You can see here. And half a teaspoon of coriander here. I prefer to use the whole seeds. Toast them in your pan. Just put them in, put the heat on, and just move them around until they start to darken a little bit and start smelling great. Then you will roast them. You're roasting them, then you will grind them up in a mortar and pestle and a blender. A blender works a little bit better and it's easier on your arms. So next we're going to need some lemon juice and lemon zest. If you have a microplane grater, break it out, it works great. For this part we have a vegetable peeler, so we're going to use it. Just peel, slide it on, lemon zest. You want to get very little white parts. If you have whites, it's not the end of the world, it's just a little bit bitter. Move it on. Lay the peel flat, start sliding it. Cutting off very carefully some of the white. We pull that part off, we don't want that, that's bitter. But as you can see, we have only the zest, very little whites. This is where all of our lemon oil is going to come from. Once they're in ribbons, you can just chop them like this. We're going to use a blender to crush them. So you just need to chop them loosely. It doesn't really matter too much. Go ahead, throw that in. This bowl here, go ahead and squeeze your lemon juice in. It's easier to take these seeds out of a bowl than your paste. Add about half of it in, still have some left. Our coriander, add our cumin, mix. As we see here now, it's way too dry for anything that we want, but that's okay. Add in the garlic. We've used about 2 cloves of garlic. Next are olive oil. We're gonna mix. Still a little too dry. I don't want to use too much oil. You add a little bit of water. If you got whole chilies, use the water from soaking your chilies. It'll have more flavor. There's no reason to waste it. Add a pinch of salt. Okay. Okay. Now this is a good start. We're gonna use our blender. Harissa. I've tasted it. It has lemon, garlic flavors, cumin, coriander. If you don't have cumin or coriander, you can leave it out. It'll just not be as complex. If you can find caraway seed, use cumin, coriander, and caraway. It's very delicious. Our cold salad next. We want to take carrots. We have already peeled it. This one we're going to make carrot ribbons. Be very delicate. So go through, turn it, take peels of your carrot off. Press hard so it's a little bit thicker. Do this until you have no more carrot. We have our ingredients. We have some parsley, we're going to use for salad, some rehydrated raisins. Soak them in some boiling water for a little bit. You can actually use the raisin water to add some sweetness to your harissa that we made earlier. We can't use the preserved lemon today, but we have some from earlier. So you want to pull it off. There's a little bit of salt on it, you see? Go ahead and take salt, rinse it off. The salt has soaked into the skin. So pull the flesh off. This part isn't really useful to us. All we want is our soft, bendable peel. And take this, cut it into strips, very delicate. This. Then you can use this for many different things. You can mix it with lemon, with yogurt for sauce, use it in stewed meats, lots of uses. Just look online for preserved lemon. First we're going to make a vinaigrette. We're going to take a little bit of red wine vinegar, or maybe a teaspoon in, 2 teaspoons, 3 teaspoons, 4 teaspoons. Take some of our lemon juice. If you don't like vinegar, use a little bit more lemon juice. 4 teaspoons. About half and half is my preference. If you don't have red wine vinegar, you can use rice wine vinegar. You can use apple cider vinegar. White distilled vinegar is a little bit too harsh. I would use one of the fruit or rice vinegars. So we have our vinegar in the bottom. Finish up with some garlic. Put it in. Make sure it's all mixed. Grab our olive oil. Start mixing that in. Okay. Just want to show you what this is like at this point. You want to have maybe three times as much oil as you do vinegar. Some of my Italian chef had 2-to-1, my French chef had 4-to-1. I like to go somewhere in between 3-to-1 ratios. I will do a large, like a tablespoon. We can add a little bit more later too. Tablespoon, large tablespoon and a half. Plug that in. Now we have some oil in the harissa already. So we want to blend it in before we add the rest of the oil. We want to look at it, see if it's as thick as you want. It's not quite thick enough, not quite, it'll be a little bit too sour. Add a little bit more vinegar, olive oil. When I chop our parsley, I've already washed this and dried it. You don't want wet parsley in your salad. Go ahead. you only want to take the leaf parts. You can pull your knife, get all the stems here, press down. You have almost all leaf on this part. A little bit like here, this is fine. It's not going to be too tough. Do that for maybe 3 or 4 more sprigs. Like this. Pull. Cut. Pull. Cut. 1. A clean bowl. Take some of your carrots. This. Put it in. We're gonna make enough for about 1 serving, maybe 2 people, depends on how much. Some of your parsley in. Some of your raisins. Then pour your harissa in. Pour a little bit at a time. Don't add too much. It's better to add more later. Just gonna toss the coat. Now this has vinegar in it. It'll start turning the carrots a little bit soft, and like it'll start leaching. It'll become a little bit less flavorful. So only do this fresh. You can keep it till the next day, but I wouldn't go more than 1 or 2 days. We're gonna taste it. See? It's missing something. Need a little bit of sweetness. So we're gonna add some yuja. So the fruit from yuja chops, yuja and kisi. We have some here. We don't want to add too much sweetness from the honey. Just there's a lot of honey still in the fruit. So let's add a little bit of this here. It's already in ribbons. Mix them in. So pull some up. And have a nice little round. Okay. So in our dish we see our raisins. See the red from the harissa, some yellow from the yuja, some green from the parsley. I think it's a very beautiful dish. A little bit sour. It works really well for some fatty meats. The acid cuts the fat. I think that's very delicious. Okay, so I said we were going to do 2 dishes. We have everything else prepared already. So we're going to make a warm carrot salad. Take your carrot, go ahead and cut it in half. Put it in the quarters. About half will work too. You want to cut them in about 1/4 inch thick slices. Always stay safe. Go ahead, put them in your strainer. You can lower them in. Okay. Okay, I have already strained our carrots. You can see that they are still hot. Just keep those in your pan. Take a little oil, pour it in. Turn your heat on. Get them warm again. They've cooled off some. We're gonna add a little bit of garlic. We don't want raw garlic in our dish. It's a little bit too spicy, a little bit hot. Now, for this part, everything else should be prepped and ready. You don't want to be chopping while your garlic is burning. Just keep it in the center. Sorry, it's starting to take on some color. At this point, you can add a little bit of salt.
How much was it?
It comes down like 400 per 100 grams. Okay, we're going to toast our harissa. Put it in. Let it smelling nice. Put your carrots in. Coat them. Now, this is a very small batch, but it'll be fine for today.
No, it is. I want this one right here.
Yeah, I just choose sides.
So this part, We use a lot of harissa and a lot of garlic. If you don't want it too spicy, too intense, use a lot more carrots or less harissa. Pull our carrots in. Purple.
This one.
This one. Clean it up.
This is just a show. I'm not actually doing anything
Yep.
with these.
There you go.
It's just a show that's in here. So it'll disappear. What we